Hi, I'm Paul Byrne, CEO of Amplify Intelligence. Over the last couple of years, we've seen a number of large-scale automated attacks like WannaCry or NotPetya. Now, these are impacting millions of businesses, our suppliers, and that causes a significant risk. We expect these small businesses to have the same security as us. Is that realistic? What do you think?
Time that the cryptocurrencies continue to be viewed as a mixture of suspicion and fascination. But then the evolution of money has always been met with distrust. From the first person who was offered a block of gold in exchange for his herd of goats and said, "I can't eat this," to the first person who was then offered a piece of paper, cash as we now call it, in exchange for said block of gold. And that is exactly the point in time that the cryptocurrency movement, still very much in its neonatal infancy, is at today. And that is to be expected. We are inherently homeostatic organisms, and it is inbuilt into our psyche to resist change. But I encourage you not to forget the lessons of history, and instead to embrace the change that is upon us, because we just may be at the cusp of the greatest revolution in the evolution of money. At Caleb & Brown, one of our mandates is to bridge the gap between the cryptocurrency market and the financial services industry. Come talk to us at Cybos, and let's talk about change.
RegTech and KYC. Why knowing your client is so important? Financial institutions really need to understand who the client is, what their business model, what they're doing, and what services they're asking for you to offer. Majority of clients are really genuine clients, but some of them are rooks. Keeping those rooks outside of financial system is a very powerful thing. Do you understand your risk? Come and visit us at Cybos, Simple KYC.
Unless you're on Wall Street in the 80s, there's probably never been a more exciting time to be working in financial markets. The pace of innovation, disruption and change driven by the convergence of technology, collaboration and regulation in the coming years is going to be huge. We all have a real opportunity to reimagine what markets might look like in the future, ultimately bringing investors and issuers more closely together, and this can only be seen as a good thing. I'm looking forward to discussing many of these themes with those attending Cybos in Sydney later this month. See you there.
The platform-based business model is taking hold in the digital economy, and the concept is starting to emerge in banking and fintech. In the Nordic, there are several fintech aggregators on the market, and it seems like everybody would like to become a platform or marketplace these days. With this movement, will the marketplace lure the share of large banks in the sales of their financial products? And what changes in regulations are expected for the platform to function properly?
Chest replacement, a world-class project around replacing settlement and clearing infrastructure in Australia is getting executed now. Throughout the course of the project, we have been talking to leading banks and brokers to understand their future strategy, future options around chest replacement. What is your strategy around chest replacement?
An asset manager with more than 10 billion under management? And do you know of a colleague or a resource that you can call on to give you an understanding for the cost of your data architecture? If you don't have that resource and you don't have a colleague to call on, in my opinion, there's a job missing in your business. Are you an asset manager with more than 10 billion under management?
Symphony is at Cybos 2018. And we want to talk to you about secure team collaboration. Symphony is building a global network across the financial services industry that allows users to chat, collaborate, and exchange information and data in a highly secure and trusted environment. I would love to talk to you more about what our customers and partners are doing with Symphony and look forward to seeing you at the FinTech Discover Zone during Sibos Week.
Hi there. You know, you can't have a digital bank if you've got analog documentation. The world is drowning in information, but primarily it's drowning in documents, and it's increasing at 1.5 trillion documents a year. At Wordflow, we are turning documents, the DNA of information being the document, into the DNA being the web page, so you can find information instantly. So if you want your information online, on mobile, on demand, come and talk to Wordflow.
I'm interested in payments across Asia, particularly innovation, inclusion, regulatory standardization, and cross-border assistance. How can we do that better? The Emerging Payments Association of Asia is being formed at Sibos on October 22nd this year. How do you want to be involved in that?
In an increasingly complex regulatory environment in which we operate, there are a number of parties we engage with that can impact the credibility of our organisation and also perhaps pose regulatory risks to us. One of those is our suppliers. So the question I pose is, how well do you know your supply chain? How well do you know the people you're engaging with deliver valuable services to you as an organisation or to your customers? And whilst it's a misconception that we've outsourced risk by giving it to third parties, we as an organisation still own those risks, and those third parties are just fulfilling those obligations for us. So it's really important to have a look at the way that we identify our customers and how we manage them through the life cycle. At EthicsBase and Completech, what we do is we conduct very enhanced due diligence into third parties to ensure that your supply chain is secure, and look for things such as redundancies and anything that is a sanction which may pose an impact to you in terms of regulatory impact or a potential operational impact. Thank you.
They're building just, well, here I am in front of the New York Stock Exchange. As you can hear, there's a fair bit of construction going on. They're building, just like we're building, a new payment gateway system to let us trade as easily on the New York Stock Exchange as the Australian one. Well, here I am in front of the New York Stock Exchange. As you can hear, there's a fair bit of construction going on. They're building, just like we're...
Do you want to make your voice heard at the world's biggest financial service industry conference in the world, Sibos? If so, listen up and take part in Speaker's Corner. Create a video like this, talking about any topic that you would like to be discussed at Sibos. Use the hashtag Speaker's Corner, Sibos, and the topic you're talking about. Upload to any social media. We will then collect those videos and take them to Sibos when we're exhibiting and play them over and over again so that your voice can be heard. This is your opportunity to virtually be at Sibos.
Open banking. I'm super proud and excited to see how Nordea is leading the way into open banking. Living in Sydney, I can still feel like we have some ways to go, but it's also interesting to read some of the articles. They came out a survey from one of the big consultancies that says that 84% wouldn't trust anyone except the bank with the financial information. So my question is then, is there a big risk in opening up for open banking?